Hey, I'm Jeffrey Kramer from Jaws and Jaws 2, and here is a shout out to the JoBlo audience. Whoa.
Martha's Vineyard, 87 square miles of summer paradise off the coast of Massachusetts. But in 1975, a cloud appeared on the horizon of this beautiful resort community, a cloud in the shape of a killer shark. Half a century later, and Bruce the shark is still making us afraid to go back in the water. I'm Ryan Coltrera from JoBlo.com, and I am so excited to be coming to you from the beautiful island of Martha's Vineyard for the 50th anniversary celebration of Jaws. Come along with me as we hit up some of the special events, explore the island, and meet some of the locals who helped make this timeless classic. Let's dive in. When I first arrived at the island, one thing became abundantly clear. I wasn't on the Vineyard anymore, I was on Amity Island. This entire place got into the Jaws spirit. Everywhere you looked had something exciting for fans, from original props, to replicas, to special guests, and of course, sharks. Sharks everywhere. Fake and real. Yeah, that's a great white I saw.
Larry, we have to close the beaches.
And of course, people dressing in their Amity best. One of the coolest things was meeting the islanders who were a part of shooting the movie back in 1974. From the girl who screamed shark to the kids with the fake fin, everywhere you turned out here, someone had a story about that summer. And on top of that, we had a ton of special events, from the premiere of a new documentary, to a screening with a live orchestra, parties, reunions, and special exhibits. Even little details, like local businesses getting in on the fun, with shark-themed rebrands. All to celebrate our favorite summer blockbuster and the place where it all began.
Happy anniversary, Jaws!
Welcome back to Amity Islands. Right off the bat, there was one particular guest that had the whole island buzzing. The return of a certain fishing vessel. How cool is that? After 50 years, the Orca has returned to Amity Island. One of the highlights of the weekend was the unveiling of Return of a Legend, a lovingly reconstructed version of the Orca, built by SMC Inc. under the guidance of Michael Sterling and Jaws production team veterans like Joe Alves. This isn't just a replica, it's a floating tribute, one person even bringing a piece of the original Orca with him. Every last detail was on point, and people flocked to it.
Hi, my name is Marty Mulder. I was the foreman of set construction on Jaws. I built the Orca. The person who built this has been consulting with me for 2 years, and I've given him a lot of detail. And this boat is so well made that it has the same problems the Orca had.
And while at the Orca, I ran into a certain someone who knew the boat pretty well back in the day. Is there an element to your performance as Hooper that you feel doesn't get enough attention from the fans?
No.
All right. Perfect. Now, is this your first time back on the island since shooting?
Yeah.
And there's a lot that's been said over the years about your working relationship with Robert Shaw. Looking
It's
back,
a lie.
Yeah?
It's a lie. Complete lie. They lied. They made it up. And I was very
What do you hope is most remembered about you in that film?
I like the idea that people can watch this in 100 years.
Absolutely.
When you see this film, pay full price. Don't listen to anybody else. There's no freebies here. And good luck.
Of course, no visit is complete without paying homage to the film's iconic locations. Downtown Edgerton, which stood for Amity, to the beach from the opening, Brody's house, the town hall, and the spot where Quint's shack once stood. And of course, the famous Jaws Bridge. Jumping off it is a rite of passage for fans, and there are some Jaws locations that may not get as much attention as they deserve. So behind me is the Island Theater. This is where 50 years ago, on June 20th, 1975, Jaws had its Martha's Vineyard premiere. This is where the locals who were in the movie and worked crew gathered to see the fruits of their efforts for the first time. Sadly, the theater is closed and in a bit of disrepair, but I really hope that someday they fix this place up so we can all watch Jaws where it first debuted. The Martha's Vineyard Museum hosted Jaws the Reunion, a lively lawn party celebrating not just the film, but the islanders who were part of its creation. I had a chance to meet several of them, faces you just might recognize from key scenes in the movie.
Yes, hi, I'm Carla Rem, and I was the girl sort of in the middle of the film that was screaming or pointing and yelling, "Shark! Sharks in the estuary!" That was me.
I'm Greg Dole. I played the Coast Guard solar operator in the 4th of July weekend. Jesus Christ, famous shark 350, all ahead.
My name is Kathy Weiss, and I am the mom in this photograph, running out of the water with my baby.
And you're the baby.
And I was 3.
Basically, we get paid $50 a day, lunch, run out screaming when they call us to.
So I got to go down and see the sharks before anybody else did. I got a set of the teeth.
We both were technically the big fan, but I was thinking he made me do it, kid, and
He made me do it! Contrary to what he says, I did not make him do it.
Inside the museum, they're featuring a special exhibit titled Jaws at 50, A Deeper Dive. From Quint's yellow barrels and Ben Gardner's head, to Mayor Vaughn's iconic anchor jacket, and Quint's harpoon gun, it's a treasure trove of original props and costumes that would make any fan's jaw drop, with pieces gathered from deep within the archives. Running throughout the summer, this exhibit is part of a larger, year-long celebration, which also includes a visit from the Broadway play, The Shark is Broken, a production about the behind-the-scenes making of Jaws.
There are a lot of movies that have turned 50, probably now and next week and last year and all that, but this, I have never seen anything like this. Yeah. For a celebration of a movie, and there have been so many great movies that have turned 50.
And when you turn 50, you're 50 for a year, right?
That's right. That's
so
right.
this Jaws 50 happens until this time next year.
Perfect. Now let's pop over to the other side of the island for a celebration of John Williams' iconic score. So next I'm here for the Alamo Drafthouse Rolling Road Show's presentation of Jaws with a full symphony orchestra. The Jaws screening, accompanied by a live performance by the Cape Cod Symphony, paid tribute to one of the greatest film scores of all time. Famously, Steven Spielberg initially thought John Williams' now legendary theme was a joke when he first heard it. But today, those two simple notes are instantly recognizable as the primal, carnal heartbeat of a shark turned into music. Here are a few highlights from that unforgettable evening.
You notice a number of violinists here, and this is a big job, and I just want to tell them, some of them anyway, that from the looks of things, they're going to need a bigger bow. Yeah. Come on, that's quality Jaws humor.
I'm the only one living, so...
Premiering on the island this weekend was the National Geographic documentary Jaws at 50, followed by an after-party at the very hotel where the cast and crew stayed during the summer of 1974. The documentary, set to debut on Disney+, is a must-watch for Jaws fans, featuring fresh insight into the making of the film.
So I wanted it to be a story of courage and persistence and triumph of the human spirit over the odds. You know, this movie was a rite of passage for Steven, just as much as it's a rite of passage for the 3 men on the boat. You know, they're being tested, and he was being tested, and I think this is hopefully a very human, relatable documentary about a young man trying to realize his dream as a storyteller, and he's faced with incredible obstacles, and how he overcomes them and never quits is nothing short of inspiring.
With my time at the Vineyard almost at an end, I decided to take one last walk to the Orca. In a surprise appearance, Hooper himself, Richard Dreyfuss, boarded the Orca for the first time since filming. He took a seat in the exact spot he occupied in the film, offering fans a truly special, unplanned moment that felt like stepping right back into Jaws.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. Had a little drink about an hour ago and it went right to my home. No matter where I roam, on land, on sea or foam, you'll always hear me singing a song. Show me the way to go home. Show me the way to go home. You people are nuts.
We love you, Richard. I love you.
Thank you.
So that'll almost do it for my coverage of the Jaws 50th anniversary celebration here on Martha's Vineyard. Honestly, this has been one of the coolest weekends for a fan like myself, and I feel like there's only one thing left to do, and that is make my love of Jaws permanent. I mean, when else can you get a tattoo of the Orca with it docked yards away, right? Huge shout out to Jeff at Seaview Tattoo. My love of this movie has been made permanent with your skilled ink work. I'll drink to your leg. From JoBlo.com, I have been Ryan Coltrera. Farewell and adieu.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.